free agency affects the NFL draft and vice versa, in that you're looking in this offseason, like any offseason, and trying to find the best matches that can upgrade your roster with the idea that in the draft, more cost effective, free agency, more expensive, but where you are as a team, who's available on both sides, big impact. We're going to get into five guys that are really pivotal. There are others, but these are five that I want to focus on that are going to have a tremendous impact on the draft. One of them is not a free agent. One of them is somebody that's under contract that I thought would be traded, and that is MAXX CROSBY. He has been traded from the Raiders to the Ravens. Now, how does this affect it? Obviously, it takes an elite edge rusher off the board, so to speak. He's with the Ravens. That's where his future is going to be. And it takes someone off the free agent board. It also affects, to some degree, what is a really good and deep defensive line crop in the draft. I think teams may look at, obviously, the other free agents and look at getting value, maybe more cost effective in the draft. So he could end up, I think, is maybe the best move this offseason in terms of a quality impact player, an elite player that can have a tremendous impact. The other guy, a couple of other guys that I think to look out for. Malik Willis. Not a great player by any stretch, not a large sample size, but he could garner the largest contract of any free agent quarterback this offseason. Why? Did a pretty good job for Green Bay in limited work over the past two seasons. The supply demand of the quarterback position, always a factor. He's got some dual threat traits, and I think positive signs in his development at Green Bay. He's looking 4 appearances, 1 start last season. He completed 85% of his throws, actually 86, rushed for 123 yards, scored 4 touchdowns. Look, he's going to be signed, and you got teams like the Cardinals and the Dolphins, maybe Pittsburgh. What are they willing to do? What are their other options? Pittsburgh, for example, with an Aaron Rodgers. This is going to have a tremendous impact on the draft class. With Mendoza likely going number 1 overall, it's going to affect the Ty Simpson. It may affect a Garrett Nussmeier. Why? When you take this guy off the board and you don't get your quarterback and you still need one and you like those other guys, it will elevate them, because in essence, what you often have to look at is, I like this player in the draft, but where do I need to take it to get it? I think this could have a big impact. Kenneth Walker, what an outstanding year he had, what an outstanding Super Bowl he had. And, there's always still a possibility at the last hour to get a long-term deal done with Walker, but the likelihood is he's going to hit the market. Potentially what he gets offered, he might want to come back to Seattle and say, this is a good situation. So it's not that he's going to be eliminated from the market, but for Seattle or anyone else that would sign him, it's going to have an impact on the draft. I think look at some teams that may need a running back, for example, the Giants, the Chiefs. Walker would be a good fit, but a costly fit. And if you're in a position to say, let's take a Jeremiah Love, then maybe you want to go in that direction if you're the Chiefs or the Giants, because he's got great ability. I think he's going to be a great player in the NFL, the running back out of Notre Dame, and he's going to be more cost effective. So what happens with him is going to be huge. Jamel Dean. Few corners have been as consistent at the Buccaneers. Jamel Dean. His coverage grades have been outstanding. He had 3 interceptions in 25, were a career high, 40 pass breakups. He's a better fit as a zone coverage, pressure defense, where his eyes can stay on the quarterback, tackle on the perimeter. I think some teams that need a corner. For example, the Rams needed one. They made a move in the trade market with Kansas City. But what about the Cowboys, the Steelers, the Eagles? May make a run at a guy like this that may be a pretty good fit. We'll see if they're able to get a deal done there. If not, then obviously it affects the value of a Mansour Delane or an Evian Terrell or a Jamon McCoy coming out of the draft. And the other guy I would like to mention is Devin Lloyd, the linebacker of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, I think there's several teams that would like a player of this caliber. He is graded very well, still very young, and I think he's in line to get a really big contract. Panthers, Bengals, Cowboys, a playmaker. His on-the-ball production is really good, and it adds value to his free agency. He had 5 interceptions. A lot of teams in their need somebody that can cover the middle of the field, safety and at linebacker. He's a solid starter that flashes to be a high-level starter, a sometimes blue-grade player, even though he's been consistently in the red-grade area. Considering the depth of all the defensive positions in this draft class, I think you've got a number of teams that would be interested. However, again, it's a good crop of linebackers. Where you are as a team, are you close? Could you feel like you're a linebacker that could really fill your defense and take you to the next level? Maybe put you in much better position that is plug and play. That's more Devin Lloyd. It's going to cost you more for that. Whereas somebody that's a fixer-upper, if you will, out of the draft that's very talented, could be a Devin Lloyd type in a year or two. You have to look at that and weigh the cost-effective value of the player. So those are some guys, not a complete list, but some guys that I think are going to have a tremendous impact on the first round of the NFL draft. We're excited to bring all the football content to you here. The draft, free agency, we got you covered right here. So make sure that you check us out. Hit that subscribe button. What do you think about these players? Do you like these guys fits for your team, or do you like some of the guys in the draft? I'd like to have your thoughts as well. Appreciate you joining us. We'll talk to you again next time, everybody.